I trust you're doing well. I'm Ethan Tashive. You're watching RwandaTV News live from Kigali. The city of Kigali is hosting a 3-day conference which brings together mayors from 11 African cities to exchange ideas on how to best develop green and improve their cities using technology and making them greener. Derek Mahaji kicks off tonight's edition with this very report.
A lot that we can learn.
For the next 3 days, members of the Aston Network, an association of 11 African cities on a journey of digital transition for sustainable and inclusive futures, will be in Kigali to exchange ideas on building smart and green cities. The head unit of digital transition for sustainable and inclusive cities from France says he is pleased with the way the city of Kigali is clean and how best it has used digital technology to improve the livelihood of city dwellers.
I want to applaud our colleagues, the leadership of Kigali City and the national government, because we have got a number of challenges as Kampala people. They are extremely organized. It's a very, very smart city. It's a green city, and they're telling us they want to make it greener. You cannot find rubbish anywhere.
The participants of the meeting have commended Kigali City Authority on cleanliness and building green spaces.
Because of the traffic, there is no traffic jam, which is quite different from many cities, including European cities, and also the city is really clean.
The mayor of Kigali says there is an ambition plan to transform the city of Kigali to a lively city and more greener with the help of technology.
As the city of Kigali, I've got a very ambitious plan transforming our city into a lively city, more greener, but also trying to put technology in that transformational journey.
Digital Transition for Sustainable and Inclusive Cities is a network of 11 African cities using digital tools to overcome local and global challenges. Kigali has promised to work and keep more of its city more greener and the encouragement of technology in its development agenda. Derek Muhanji reporting for RwandaTV.
Thanks, Derek, for that very report. Now, more than 9,000 affordable housing units are being built in Rwanda. They're expected to be completed in the next 3 years. This is to increase affordable housing in Rwanda. Jen Motoni has more of this report.
Klonda Ishimye is among many in the country who have been able to buy houses built under the affordable housing program. He says this project helped him to access accommodation easily.
The reason why I decided to buy these houses is because they are cheap. They are indeed affordable houses. Secondly, the area is secure and the residents share almost a similar mindset because each time we plan to do something as a community, it turns out successful.
On one hand, those who haven't bought accommodations are requesting financial institutions to reduce the interest rate on loans, as it is currently at 11%.
The interest rate on bank loans for affordable housing is so high that even if you spent your income on paying back the loan, it still wouldn't be enough or even be able to make a living.
As Rwanda aims to be an upper middle income economy by 2035 and an upper income economy by 2050, it requires her to reach a 35% proportion of urban population by 2024 from 18.4%, according to the Integrated Household Living Conditions Survey 5 of 2017. The Director General of the Rwanda Housing Authority, Felix Shimyumuremyi, explains how the stock market is a lasting solution to the issue of high interest rates on loans.
Normally, for developers, most of them they source funds from commercial banks. But if you try to see the interest rates that they are being charged by those banks, it's really extremely high. So there should be other alternative ways of mobilizing funds, like looking for capital markets, just instead of relying on banks, just to make a good design of your project, you market it, and then if people really believe it's profitable, you can present it to the capital market, and people can buy shares. By buying shares, you can mobilize funds to implement your project. And in the end, if the project goes successful, whatever comes in as a profit, it will be shared through it will be divided through shareholders. So that's one way we are trying to exploit, to look the feasibility of how we can source funds for housing by looking into capital markets.
The chairman of Africa Union for Housing Finance, Andrew Chiponda, says that Rwanda's approach to developing affordable housing sets an example to many countries.
We've seen what Rwanda as a country is doing, which is very impressive, which many countries would like to emulate. The work of RHA, the provision of infrastructure subsidy, how the slum upgrading is taking place here in Rwanda. So those things are very important because, as you know, our biggest problem is dealing with the lack of decent quality housing in the whole of Africa.
As part of the National Development Acceleration Program, NST1 2017-2024, 9,700 affordable housing units are planned to be built in Rwanda. The houses are part of the 310,000 houses planned to be built by 2032. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
And thanks, Jen, for that report. Now, the High Commissioner of Rwanda to Tanzania, General Charles Karamba, met with the Minister of Defense of Tanzania, Dr. Stagomena Tax. The talks, which took place in Dodoma, for the Defense Cooperation Agreement signed by the Foreign Affairs Minister from two countries in Dar es Salaam on October 28, 2021. According to the Rwanda High Commission in Tanzania, the talks were aimed at looking at how the agreement itself and the broad lines proposed by the two heads of state should be implemented. In August 2021, the President of the Republic of Tanzania, Madam Suluhu Hassan, paid a visit to Rwanda, where she was received by President Paul Kagame and held talks and pledged to further strengthen cooperation in several areas of interest on both countries. The Rwanda National Police and Gendarmerie Nationale of the Central African Republic have announced that they are going to strengthen cooperation, especially in capacity building. This was said this Wednesday after discussions between the Inspector General of Police, Dan Munyuza, and the Director General of Land reached the port of the Gendarmerie Nationale of Central African Republic. Sam Karisa has more.
The Director General of the Gendarmerie Nationale of the Central African Republic, Landry Ulrich Depot, and the delegation he leads began a 6-day work visit to Rwanda. Upon arrival at the Rwanda National Police headquarters located at Kachiru, Central African Republic Police Commander was received by the Inspector General of the Rwanda National Police, CG Dan Munyuza. He said his visit to Rwanda will yield tangible results at various levels, owing it to the already existing good relations between Rwanda and the Central African Republic.
Le Rwanda, comme je l'ai dit au départ, pour nous représente un modèle.
There are Rwandan security forces, both the police and the army, serving on the Central African Republic soil. They are there as part of the UN peacekeeping mission in Central Africa. They are helping us to restore peace in our country, which is why we have decided to come to Rwanda to see how the administration prioritizes good governance, which I think is the reason the Rwandan government decided to send troops to our country, which even increased the capacity of our troops.
De profiter, de bénéficier de certaines formations ici au Rwanda pour permettre également de renforcer les capacités de nos troupes en Centrafrique.
The Inspector General of the Rwanda National Police, CG Dan Munyuza, says the cooperation between the Rwanda National Police and the Central African Republic Police is possible and important in terms of exchanging skills.
Constantly train law enforcement officers and equip them with necessary knowledge and skills to combat crimes such as violent extremism, terrorism, drug trafficking, economic and financial crimes, among many other crimes. You will be shown what RNP has in terms of capabilities during the visit. And I believe RNP is always ready to share whatever expertise and experience you have with our brothers in Africa and beyond. as we work together with friendly African countries to strengthen peace and security on our continent.
Since 2014, Rwanda has sent 2,699 police officers to the Central African Republic, including 2,350 men and 349 men who are part of the UN peacekeeping mission in the country. In addition to the police, Rwanda has troops in the Central African Republic, including those under the UN peacekeeping mission and others who were sent after cooperation agreements were signed between the two countries. Relations between the two countries have for long been based on security, but have now intensified to other levels, including trade and investment. Sam Kalisa, Rwanda Television News.
Many thanks, Sam, for that report. Now, still on Rwanda police matters, the National Police this Wednesday paraded to media 12 people, including 7 police officers and 5 civilians, for fraudulently issuing driver's licenses. These police officers and their accomplices face charges of corruption in issuance of driver's license, a crime that was committed in Gahanga sector in Chichichiro district at the end of last month while supervising driving tests. Witnesses told the media that some operators of driving schools had told some of the students that whom they were teaching that they would not succeed in driving tests unless they gave out some money to police traffic instructors, one of whom paid 300,000 Rwandan francs. Now, the suspects have denied all allegations. Still, on more news, small-scale miners in Rulindo district urge mining engineering educations to develop curriculum that focuses on safety of industry operators. This Wednesday, experts in field of mining engineering from various agencies, including the RwandaTV board and UNESCO Rwanda, met in Rulindo district to exchange views on how to develop a vocational training curriculum for small-scale miners. Nikuze Bernadette says the curriculum will take into account the aspirations of the miners.
The miners at small-scale industries, they don't use safety at their work. So the aim of this curriculum will be to emphasize on safety, health, on their body and the environment, so that all the small-scale mining will be aware about safe work in the mine.
So how are you planning to distribute it so that everyone in the country in mining industry will benefit from that?
This curriculum will be conducted in all the associations on small-scale mining in Rwanda.
Thank you so much.
Now, still on the same report, the Director of Science, Technology and Innovations Unit at UNESCO Rwanda, Dominique Mvunabandi, says mining companies should be involved in curriculum as this is expected to help them improve their operations.
A draft of the curriculum that will be circulated among other institutions to provide their comments, inputs, and validate it thereafter. Validation, it will be disseminated through relevant government institutions like RwandaTV board and Rwanda Polytechnic through IPRCs. So our role here is to get that idea, facilitate this activity, and thereafter come up with a draft that will help. A draft that will be the basis or baseline